There you go. Recording. Hey everybody, welcome to our Zoom meeting. We're gonna for a while and see if we can get this a little bit to get closer. Sorry, we were having some technical difficulties today.
Okay.
Let's see, what about that?
Yeah, it's better.
That better?
Yeah.
I can't see the video on the screen.
Okay. All right. So welcome. My name is Cassandra, and this is Alex Ordonez. That's going to come back over here. We want to share with you some really important things that we've learned lately. So I have been in the health industry for quite a while. I've been a body talk practitioner for over 15 years, and that's a holistic health modality that's been phenomenal. And I've been able to help a lot of people, and including myself and my family members. And so I've been really passionate about health for a long time, and it was stemmed from having my own health issues and seeing people around me suffer that I wanted to be able to help. And this is my wonderful, handsome husband, Alex, who likes superheroes.
I do. They're
Yes.
so cool.
They're so super.
Marvel.
Yes.
Not DC.
Mm-hmm. So, and his background is in the construction industry. He's a man of many talents and skills. But he's recently joined forces on the health journey with me. Been very exciting. We both experienced a lot of really positive results lately as a result of changing some of the things that we do, and we're still on that journey. We've got a lot left to do, but do you want to say anything else about
So, welcome everybody. I want to welcome you all first for coming and joining us on the Zoom meeting. This was very improvised. We just wanted very much today. So we appreciate everybody that is listening out there. Welcome to the Zoom meeting, and hopefully you can take a little bit of some information that we're going to share with you today, and that you will apply it to your lives, and it will help you to improve your lives tremendously, just like it has to us and all the people around us. So just to tell you a little bit of, she already told you a little bit of who we are and where we come from. I'm originally from Mexico, so excuse my accent if you can understand everything I'm saying. Just, bear with me. But so I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, earned, own businesses since I was 12 years old, and really passionate about businesses, not so much about health. I never cared much about health. My dad used to always tell me you should eat better, more fruits and vegetables and stuff. How many can relate to that? How many people can relate to your parents telling you that you should eat better foods, eat more fruits and vegetables? My dad was not the person that would just tell me that, but he was also leading it. He still do it. He eats 8 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, mainly fruits, every day. So I didn't care much about health until I met this wonderful, beautiful girl here. And she started getting me little by little into more health and healthy ways of eating. And so it was, sometimes you don't listen really to your spouse for whatever reason. We're stubborn. And that's just, a lot of marriages, that's the way we just are, sometimes we tend to not listen to the person that's right next to us. But it was back in, February when Sean and Eileen, they're really good friends of ours, Loomers. Sean came to Dallas, and even though my wife had been telling me for 10 years all this stuff, that was a seed that was planted on my brain, right, and in my heart. Because when Sean came to Dallas to do a health package like we're doing right now, that's when everything clicked. Because it was like, oh yeah, this makes so much sense, and it was aligned with all the things that my wife has been teaching me, right, throughout all these years. So we're going to share a little bit about that. Like my wife told you, she's the health expert. I'm not the construction guy. I own a construction company. We own other businesses, and always an entrepreneur. But she's the one that knows more about health and all that stuff. But when Sean came to Dallas back in February of this year, I got so passionate about this because my health has started improving a lot tremendously. I was basically 2 years ago. Just to give you a little bit of a story. About 2 years ago, I believe in God, right? And He said, if you don't do something about your health, you're gonna die. It's that simple. It was very simple, very plain. It was one of those impressions that it was like, you either do something right now, or you're bye-bye, right? So you gotta do something about your health. And so, I don't know about you, but if you are told that you have an ultimatum, you better make change, right? And so I started exercising. We have a trail right here in front of our house. There's a little lake, and there's a really nice trail. And so I was walking every day. My family can testify of that because I was being held accountable by sending in WhatsApp messages every morning, trying to make sure that I was staying on task, right? Because I wanted to get healthier. I didn't want to die, basically, or get sick or anything like that. I was having a lot of health issues. I was having anxiety attacks. I was having pain issues with my, what they call arthritis, and my knees. I couldn't go up the stairs without, my knees hurting a lot. My back was hurting all the time. You name it. I was having a lot of issues. I was about 35 pounds heavier than I am right now. A lot of different issues. My heartbeat has always been about 85 or somewhere around there. And so I was like, my heart was working really hard all the time trying to pump that blood to my body because I was not eating very healthy. So Sean came and he did a health package like we're doing today. We're going to go over some of the things that they mentioned on that health talk. And so I started following these steps and doing all the things along with what my wife has taught me. But what I want to say is prior to that moment, and we're going to show you a little demonstration here. So I exercised for about, I would say about a year or over a year, and I was eating better. I was asking my wife, hey, can you make me more green smoothies, more salads with my breakfast, my lunch, more fruits and vegetables. And I was not feeling any better. Even though I was eating better, I was exercising more, I was not feeling much better. I didn't drop a pound, which is very surprising. A lot of people go, well, all you need to do is eat better and exercise. And surprisingly enough, that's not necessarily the key for getting healthier. Because what happens is we always talk about how all these is processed food, right? We're full of and I don't want to show everything, but we're always eating processed food, cooked food, right? And so all these is what we call dead food. This is all dead food. There's no nutrient value on it, very little nutrient value. It's dead food, right? And so I was eating all this stuff, and what happens is your body is really smart, right? When you eat all this stuff, your body goes, I have no idea what you just put on my body. I don't know what this is. I know two things. I need to break it down to those molecules so I can unlock all the nutrients, and I need to get rid of the rest. Those are the two main things that I need to know. So that I need to do. So your body's like, well, I have to break it down. So I need to break it down, and I need to get rid of it, right? So, and the problem is, so we have a little bank of enzymes. Let me do a little presentation so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Hello, welcome. So this right here is a pudding, and many of you probably like puddings. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of puddings. My wife likes puddings a lot. She eats banana puddings. She likes them.
But not a big fan.
I'm not a big fan. I just never have. But if you notice, this is very thick, right? I'm gonna get it a little close here so you guys can see it. We're in a Zoom meeting, so there's people on the other side of the camera. So you can see this is really thick, right? And this is really thick. It's really thick. That's the consistency of a pudding, right? It's not gonna change. It will never change because that's the way the puddings are, just thicken. To me, they're nasty, right? But, some people like them. You know, there's no, it's not a attack. But if you can see, I'll flip the cap. Nothing is gonna happen. It's gonna stay there. It's really sticky, right? And I think I used the right words. That's one of the problems. This is really sticky food. This is nasty processed dead food, right? And so when you put this on your body, then your body goes, what the heck is that? I don't know what you just gave me. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what that is. So this right here is a full spectrum enzyme capsule.
This is representative of any cooked or processed food because,
I'd like to mention this veggie cap is a veggie capsule. Why is it so important that we have veggie capsules on our products? These capsules, when people go to do marathons and stuff, we're from Texas, for those of you looking at the Zoom meeting. In Austin, they do a lot of marathons and stuff, 10Ks, 5Ks, you name it, right? And they've done a study where the number one thing they find on the porta potties is the pills. Full capsules. Like full capsules.
Oh my God.
They haven't even been broken down. There's no, like, the ingredients still inside the capsule. That's the number one thing they find in the porta potties. Why is that? Because they're not veggie capsules. So what happens is you're just eating your money and pooping it out, basically. That's what you're doing.
A lot of them are compressed and heated, so it's not even something that the body can use at all either.
So it's very important that we have veggie caps. And what my wife is doing, she's simulating what the stomach is doing, right? Your stomach is moving the food. Whenever you put that pudding inside your stomach, it will start moving it around. It will start just like processing that food. So where do you find enzymes usually? Well, the plant-based enzymes that we're talking about, you find them usually on apples, bananas, any fruits, vegetables, plant-based foods, right? So what happens is, I don't know if you guys ever seen when you eat a pear, for example, my wife has a pear here, and you take a bite and it will turn brown immediately, right? Hopefully, unless you have those McDonald's. Oh no, I just threw a brand there. I'll tell you the story. I took my daughter to, we usually don't take her there, but every kid likes the Happy Meal, right? They like the Happy Meal so much. And you gotta just, fulfill their dreams, and they want a Happy Meal. Every kid has a Happy Meal. So we take her to McDonald's once a year, maybe every other year, and just to get a Happy Meal, just to make her happy. Well, because she hears us talking about health and healthy eating, she tries to choose the better foods. So she chose the apples, the sliced apples. I don't know if you've seen them. They come in a little baggie. Yeah. And the funny thing is, we were going to do a similar health talk that we're doing today, the next day, and the apples were sitting right on my counter. She left them out. She forgot about them. And so I went to grab them, to put them in the fridge, and to my surprise, they were white. Like, really white. Like bleach, almost white. And I was like, these are like dead apples. There's no enzymes in them at all. I mean, they're completely dead. And so that's what I'm talking about. Hopefully you have some good apples or some good fruits and vegetables that are organic. But this is basically what happens. Can I go close here?
Can I?
Don't move me in.
Okay.
Check this out. So this is what happens with the enzymes.
Fully breaks it down.
So, I'm not saying you should eat these puddings and just eat enzymes with them. I am not. But you can see how the cup even got clear. You can see how the little cup is pretty much clear. Where am I? There you go. So you can see the cup is back again. And just so you know, if you take the enzymes, you're not gonna run to the bathroom like that. I know because the color is perfect for that example, but you're not gonna run to the bathroom. But what we're
If I
trying
go
to
like
say
this, is that better? Sorry.
It's gonna fall. It was perfect.
Well, because then you can be
I'm okay with him.
talking. Okay. Okay. I was like, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're trying to change things up.
So, why are enzymes so important? Because 70% of your immune system starts in your gut. 70% of your immune system. So think about it. So if you don't have a strong immune system, what is going to happen? You're going to start having disease, right? Basically, what happens is that food, when you are not able to digest it, I was telling you earlier, your body, as soon as you put some food on it, the first two thoughts that come to its mind is, I gotta break it down to the smallest molecule, and I gotta get rid of whatever it's not useful for me. Because your body can't break it down, it's gonna store it, right? Now, can you imagine that pudding store somewhere in your body? And it will happen. I mean, that's sticky, nasty pudding that it will stuck in your gut, in your intestines and stuff, whatnot. So, like Eileen likes to say, she explains it way better than me, but think about it as a river of life, right? That's your blood in your body. Those are your veins, your river of life. Everything moves through the body, through the blood, right? From the bottom of your toes to the top of your head. All your nutrients, everything moves through the bloodstream, right? And it's like a river, right? If you have a river and it's flowing naturally and wonderfully, it even smells good. It smells like nature. It feels good. There's like life on it, right? You hear you can probably hear right now the birds singing, right, in your mind. You can hear the water streaming and all that. And then all of a sudden you have all these logs and branches and things get stuck on it, right? And what happens is things will start getting stuck on it, right? And then all of a sudden you have trash, you have more branches, leaves, and all this other stuff. And the water will become stagnant, right? And it will become dirty. And at some point, bacteria will start forming in there, right? And so it's the same thing with your blood. We're eating all these processed food, all these crap every single day.
Too much food and processed. So not only is it overloaded with amounts, but it's things that the body can't fully utilize or break down. So it's so common.
And it's not that you're gonna eat because you eat a hamburger today, or you're gonna get sick, but you're not gonna also get healthier just because you eat an apple, right? It's the everyday, just like my wife says, it's the everyday habits that we have and we do on a daily basis. It's all that, I'm almost 40 years old, there you go, and so it's all of the years, decades of eating all these processed food, all this garbage that we're, taxing the body just with bad stuff.
And it goes and it stores the excess, and it's not gonna just, the body is smart, it's not gonna just let go of things. If it's poisonous or toxic, it doesn't want to kill us, it wants to preserve us, so we'll go and lock some of that stuff away in our body and then causes problems later on. So we've got to be able to get the body so that it can clean out this debris. So that's something that enzymes from plants do, is they go and it cleans out, it helps digest what is right then being eaten, and then it goes and cleans out the stuff that's stored, so that river of life, that blood can be clean. You probably have heard of people who need different like blood thinners, or they have stroke, heart attack. There's blockages. So oftentimes, the blood can get thick and dirty, and so we want it to be clean. That's one of the ways that we can do it, is through more fresh and living foods, and then through digesting the stuff that's left over from what we've eaten before. So we've been on a journey, we've been doing a pretty good job, and most of the people in America, it seems it's around 5% of how much fresh and living food that they eat, and which is despicable, but that's just how it is. You look at you know, you evaluate your whole day. Okay, what are people eating for breakfast? You know, if you're eating eggs, okay, that's dead. If you're eating a tortilla, that's dead. The toast, dead. Orange juice, dead. Unless it's fresh squeeze. Unless it's fresh squeeze, it's dead because they pasteurize it to be free of bacteria, but it's dead. It doesn't have the stuff in it that it's supposed to have. And so, and then again, lunch, like a sandwich, okay, like bread, you know, like meat, all that stuff, dead, all that stuff. Then cook our vegetables, cook them too much, and then.
So a lot of people will tell me, hey Alex, but so I eat a lot of vegetables. I go, okay, do you eat them? Well, I like to steam them and then put some nacho cheese on top of them. Well, dead, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys knew, but if you cook your food or heat your food over 118 Fahrenheit, you kill everything. When you cook, well, most of it on a, especially the longer you cook it, the higher the heat is. There's this really famous place with a little panda, right, that you can go eat there, some Chinese food. And so they go, well, every time I go there, I get the vegetable bowl. And then I'm like, yeah, I think they cook that food at about 450 Fahrenheit. So those vegetables are dead, right? So there's no difference in between eating a hamburger and all dead vegetables. So it's very important to understand, you know, we don't just want to eat vegetables. If they're cooked, they have to be raw and fresh, and hopefully from a good source.
Yeah, because what we're trying to do is like, you know, improve quality of life. There's a lot of people who live a long time, but their quality of life is terrible. They're like on machines, and it keeps them alive, but they don't have energy. Like, what would it be like? And it should be normal that it's like you're 80 years old and you get up and you go and you do stuff. It's not like, oh, you know, when you're 25. Like I know 20. Like it's amazing. It keeps declining. The age at which people feel tired. Like I know a lot of kids who don't even feel like playing on the playground. They don't feel like doing stuff. They get headaches. They have achy joints. That's just not okay. There's all these learning things that get in the way. It's like there's so much in our food that is getting in the way of us living.
Something really important to mention is we are not drug deficient. We are nutrient deficient. You know, what happens is, like I was telling you earlier, I have what people call arthritis, right? And so like Charlene likes to explain it, she says, they have to create a disease so they can create a drug. There's no such thing as arthritis, really. All it is your body inability to digest proteins. That's it. That's all it is. And so they were explaining how if you put it under a microscope, and I've seen it, it's pretty cool. It's a light cell microscope, and I'm so pleased to say that I got that test. And you know, since I've been digesting my food better and all that, my cells there were about, I would like to say at least 100 to 200 people that did their test. And I didn't see everybody, but I was, if not the only one of the only ones that had their blood cells like super clean. And so, where I was going with that
is that you'll live a long time and have quality of life and feel like waking up.
Great. I like that.
That's possible. What's interesting is if he would have gotten that test, which he didn't get that test last year, but if he would have gotten that test last year, we know that it would have been so much different. It's so neat because it's just one of the ways that like we know that there is healing possibilities, that things change. Like we're either changing, like we're either getting a dirtier river of blood or we're getting a cleaner river of blood, and that we have. You know, we can use that knowledge when we learn more about it. You can't undo that. Like, you start to get to know more information to be able to apply that to how you eat and live.
And they're so fast to remove everything nowadays. Like, you know, we're not teaching like any diets or anything with these. We're not. Like, we're just teaching you or recommending, and you guys should eat better, right? Ideally, you should be eating 80% raw foods, fruits and vegetables, and just raw foods. Our goal, my wife and I, is 50%. And I would like to say that most of the time we get really close to that. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that in the morning you wake up and then the first thing you eat is 2 eggs, bacon, and maybe some sausage or something like that, right?
Hash browns.
Hash browns. Dead, right? There's no living foods on that. There's no enzymes to help you break down that food. Well, here's a tip. What about you eat the 2 eggs, if you really like them, but then add some avocado to that and some tomato, and maybe a bowl of fruit, right? And let me tell you something. So when I heard the first time about that, so I tried it. We do some networking meetings and some other meetings. We as I told you earlier, we own a lot of business. And so we go to different meetings and stuff. And I tried it at one of the restaurants that I get together with some group of people. And so now they call it the Alex. That's the Alex breakfast because I ordered my 2 eggs with avocado, tomato, and a bowl of fruit. And it's just so wonderful. And the crazy thing is, the better you eat, the more your body will ask you for it. Your body will start craving that. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm from Mexico, right? And so I eat a lot of burritos, taquitos. That's our theme. We love that, right? And so eggs with chorizo is one of the things that we eat a lot. Chorizo is like a type of sausage, so you didn't know that. And so usually you eat, eggs with chorizo in a burrito or something, right? It's like super delicious. We love it. And so I find myself, after I started doing all these better healthy eating, I find myself craving lettuce. And I had to put it on my burrito because I just could not eat that burrito with that lettuce because your body will start craving that. And what happens is, on that thought, what happens is we're starving our bodies. That's why when I was telling you earlier, that I was exercising for over a year, I was eating better, I was eating more fruits and vegetables. Even though I was doing all these activities, I was not breaking my food down to the smallest molecule. So my body was not able to unlock the nutrients from the food to deliver them to the body. So what happens is we're eating like all day, every day.
And we eat more snacks, because you're
hamburgers, and we eat eggs, and we eat quesadillas, and we eat this and that, and snacks, and whatever. All day we're eating. And what happened to me was I was never satisfied. I was always hungry. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate with that, to that, because so what happens is we are eating so much, but in reality, we're starving our bodies. We're not getting the nutrients the body needs. And it's not that you're starving for food, you're starving for nutrients because your body's like, okay, well, you're putting more food in there to things. I need to digest it and get rid of it. Give me more because I'm not getting the nutrients I need. I need more. So you're like, okay, well, let me give you more. And then your body's like, okay, well, same thing. Nothing happened. It's the same stuff. All garbage. I don't need it. Give me more. And so you'll find yourself, when you start making your food better, the smallest molecule, you'll find yourself in the same position that I was. About a week after I started taking the enzymes, my wife made breakfast really super delicious. And so I was eating, and then about a third probably, or a fourth of my plate, I stopped. And she goes, what's wrong? You didn't like it? I was like, no, it's not that. It's like, so what's wrong? I said, I think I'm full. And she's like, what do you mean? And my mom can tell you about this because she always makes fun of me. She's like, man, Alex, you're always hungry. Like, because I could eat like a whole meal and then an hour later, I'm like starving again. And so I was like, I'm not sure, but I think I'm full. I think I'm done eating. Not full, but satisfied. I felt satisfied. I felt like I ate enough food. I needed eat more food. And so for that whole week, it was a new experience for me because it was like, wow, this is what it feels to be satisfied, to be done eating and not feel full, because I used to eat to the point where my food was like, I was throwing out.
And then you
so,
feel like you want to take a nap. We have to lie down,
Yeah.
roll out of the
so
off your chair.
you know, that whole week, it was just a new learning experience for me too. You know, it was weird because I had to make myself stop. But sometimes the food is so good that you just want more. But then I was like, I had to retrain my body because I was like, my brain is telling me I'm done eating. And I know it. And it's so clear. And I never experienced that before. So
It's
That
really
is
neat
really
because
cool.
those signals can come back and be healthy signals to tell us when we need to drink more water, when we need to stop eating, when we need more of something. But it's like we sometimes kind of shove it full of stuff and like, be quiet, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm just going to keep eating. Anyway, so it's really neat too because you eat less food when your body, you just stop eating as much. And then your body's using, because it's using what it needs, and then it can go and find and use what it's like stored too. Like, let's clean it out and not just put more stuff in it. It doesn't know what to do with.
So something really cool that you can do with the enzymes, and whether you find them on fruits, vegetables, or whatever, we just encourage you to eat more raw and fruit, and especially living foods. When you take some of these enzymes at night before you go to sleep, the cool thing about enzymes, plant-based enzymes, is they're like ants. That's what I like to call them, right? Like they're like ants. They basically go to work. They're not just like sitting there. Oh, there's nothing to digest, so I guess we're just gonna sit here until we get disposed. They go and they start finding problems with your body, and they will fix and repair some of the things that you have going on in your body. So a lot of people do that. They take two before they go to bed, and then the enzyme will be working at night before you wake up in the morning. Maybe you already have a new arm.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. Well, but what's really neat is though there's people that are suffering with all kinds of stuff you wouldn't necessarily associate with digestion, but everything starts with digestion. Everything is about gut health. It's like digestion is everything. It will stop repairing. Your body will stop repairing the body and go to digest whatever you're digesting. So like
It takes precedence.
eating, it does take precedence. So eating late at night, instead of your body working on what it should be doing is repairing and the body, it will be digesting. So you don't want to eat late at night. And then your last meal should not be a heavy meal. Should not. I mean, any heavy meals aren't so great, and especially in the evening time, dinner should be a light, easy to digest in a couple hours kind of food, like a light salad or something like that, so that your body is working on what it should be working on when you're asleep. And I wanted to mention, people have probably heard of like gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance, like all these things. And really, it's like your body loses the ability. I mean, everybody is different, but some people have problems with the proteins, like you talked about, with like people who have inflammation in their joints. They're not breaking down. There's uric acid. They're not breaking down things. They have pain. And then you've got people who like can't handle dairy and things. They're having a lactose intolerance. They're not breaking it down. So enzymes are a way that your body is breaking down. This is a full spectrum, so it can break down all of the proteins, fats, carbs.
So you can eat a whole Thanksgiving meal, and then take one of these bad boys before you eat, and it will break a whole Thanksgiving meal. So that's really important.
And if you pay attention, you'll know when you're satiated and be like, no, stop. It doesn't matter if my whole plate is there. It's like your body's not designed to be stuffed. And if you're going to do it, don't do it often.
So our bodies are not designed to eat this way.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. And right now we're just talking about food. We're not talking about, you add all the chemicals that we use to clean, all the chemicals that we breathe in the air. And so just to give you a little more understanding on how the enzymes work on your body. So we have a little bank account, right, in our pancreas. Think about it as a bank account. And so we're born with a certain amount of enzymes. If you're lucky enough, of all the groups of enzymes that your body needs to break all the foods, different groups of foods. And so every time you eat some processed food and you're not eating enough raw and vegetables and all that stuff, foods, you go and pull out of your bank account, right? You're pulling out of the bank account to break the food down. The problem is they cannot be replaced and they don't reproduce. So once you're out of them, you're out of them. That's it. You're done. So going back to what my wife was saying is, gluten intolerant people, right? That's all it is. They just run out of that group of enzymes. And so what happens is every time a new kid is born, it's from generation to generation, right? So there's a newborn, and then his kids, and their kids, and their kids. They're born with less and less and less enzymes. And that is the problem. Because now you have kids that are 3, 5, 6 year olds with diabetes, arthritis, ADD, ABCDEFG, whatever things that they're creating now. I don't know if you guys knew, but there's a new disease, they call it. It's called the video gaming disorder. I'm wondering what kind of drug they're gonna come out with to give these kids. What about you just don't buy in the video games?
You reduce
right?
the time.
Or you manage their time in front of the TV. That's much better than giving him a drug. Or, oh no, my kid, I'll tell you a little story. I'm not going to say any names, but, and this has happened a couple of times of people that their kids are having certain problems with health or stuff. And they're like, well, he used to play all day long, but now I only let him play like 6 hours. I'm like, your kid is having some major issues. What about you get rid of, I'm not saying I'm against video games. I play them, my kids play them, but we monitor that. And I'll tell you something. If any of my kids have any big issues with video gaming disorders or whatever they call them, I'll get rid of all of them. It's that simple, right? Why keep them? But so it is very important to make sure that you break down your food to the smallest molecule so your body can unlock all the nutrients.
Our bodies are being kind of attacked on all fronts. Like we've got microwaves, we've got like stuff in the air, we've got all this stuff going on, and there's things that are outside of our control, and there's things that are inside of our control. And so we want to do things about stuff that's within our control. There's things like I learned more about let's see. Yeah, you're not supposed to feel like I think about like my whole life, like growing up. It's like I always felt uncomfortable after I ate, and like looking back, I ate so much. I ate way too much, but that didn't even occur to me that you're eating too much. I just was eating what I saw other people eat, even if their body was a lot bigger than mine, even if it was like my dad or whatever. I just be like, well, someone gave me this plate. It's like that's my job. Eat everything on the plate. Then if I can squeeze in some dessert.
So here just to kind of summarize everything, just because we're respectful of your time. But so basically what everything comes down to is we are the sickest generation in America of all history, of all times. And it's been taught, there's like some studies out there that either this generation or the previous generation outlived their parents.
It's this one.
So basically, we are basically expected that we will die first than our parents.
Before our kids.
No, before our kids. Oh yeah, before our kids.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Our kids will die
Our
before. Yeah.
No, it's our generation. Anyway, it's bad. It's bad. I think we are expected to die, our generation. We're expected to die first than our parents.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't know about any of you guys watching this Zoom, the people here, but I don't want that to happen, right? And so we gotta do something about it. We gotta wake up. We gotta change the way we're eating. We gotta do more of these health talks. More people are being aware of these and waking up and betting with their dollars. Like there's more organic stuff being placed on the stores now. There's more people, demanding better foods, better ingredients. I'm not gonna mention any brands, but there's this chocolate, very famous chocolate brand. There's a syrup, and they used to have like 1 million ingredients on the back. You'll turn it back, and there's like, whoa, what is this? I have no idea what is on this bottle, but there's like a long list. Now they have 5 ingredients on it. And the reason is because more people are being aware of all the artificial things that we're putting on our bodies, how we're targeting our body and hurting ourselves. And so we need all of your voices, guys. We are on a journey to help more people improve their health. We are having results and testimonials left and right. Just every single person that has been listening to these talks and doing it to the T and trying their best and just really trying. Nobody's perfect. We are not. My wife is not. I'm not. We're not. Sean and Telling, they're not. We're not. We don't eat perfect. Even Sean and Telling, they're the ones that have been teaching us these talks, and they're the gurus of it. Telling knows everything about enzymes. She is the guru of enzymes. She's the god of enzymes. She knows everything left and right. And so even them, their target is to eat 80% raw foods. And again, that's their target, right? I mean, they eat pizza, they eat, but what is better, eating a piece of pizza without the enzymes or with the enzymes? Because 2 things are going to happen. You're either going to break your food down to the smallest molecule or you're not. It's that simple. And you're going to store in your body.
Debris in your body.
And so if you want more information on how to acquire some of these enzymes, or you want to know more about these classes that we do, if you want us to come and talk to your city or to a specific group of people, your friends, your family, let us know. Contact the person that invited you to this Zoom meeting. Maybe. Alexis David is on the house. Welcome. Whoever that was, he has some kids on the background. Welcome. So we're wrapping it up. So you guys can go back and replay it. We're gonna. It's being recorded, so we'll place it on the Facebook group that we have. Again, if you need any information, if you want any information about this that we've been talking about, get back to the person that got to you or they contacted you. My wife is the health expert, not me. Maybe I sound like it, but it's all because of her. I'm so grateful to be able to be with this wonderful girl here, because she had taught me so much about, she made me the person that I am. You heard that saying that behind every strong man, and I am pretty strong. There's a great woman, and she is. So without further ado, thank you so much, you guys, for everything, and thank you so much for being here tonight. This has changed our lives tremendously.
We need your voice.
Tremendously.
Yes.
So, we wanna spread the word. There's so many people dying, you guys, left and right, and suffering. This
brain issues.
There's we have suffered directly from that. My wife lost a family member due to some drugs and other stuff. So we really want to make sure that we help people before something like this happens. So we really want to raise awareness and help people feel better, improve their health, and that's the reason that we're so passionate about it, because we really care about helping other people and making them feel better and stuff. So.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
I guess I didn't ask. I didn't even look to see if anyone.